the chat. Hello, 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 everybody. Thank you for coming and welcome to the Garden Quilt and Art Show, where good friends become family, and family is everything. I don't know why I can't see the chat. Oh, the devil's always busy, isn't he? Okay. Hmm. I see me. See the chat. I know I saw. Don't forget to give the thumbs up, you guys. Let me go in and see if I can pull it up. And don't forget to give a thumbs up. I will try to give myself a thumbs up. Oh, Maria Graham is in there, and that's what she's saying. Thank you for coming. And I just gave myself a thumbs up. Funny thing, I guess this is advertising coming up. I'm trying to look at you guys. They got the biggest pair of bloomers in there, granny panties. Juanita Campbell, hello, and thank you for coming, and welcome, welcome, welcome. Hopefully, you got your mail or will be getting it soon. I haven't been feeling well, but I was so excited because finally got to the post office on the way to picking up a prescription and got, I think, all of your stuff out. Maria Graham, you're such a sweetie pie. She says she likes my hair. Maria Graham's been on this hair journey with me for the last year and a half. When I'm trying to go natural and grow some locks, mine don't look like anybody else's. They don't do what anybody else's are supposed to do. But let me go back and start at the beginning because I would like to thank those of you in the bushes, those of you who are here for the replay, the moderators, the channel members, subscribers, and everybody who is supporting the channel by at least just spending your time here. Watching the commercials does help. I've been looking at that I am monetized. I don't I don't expect or look for a lot, but it seems like it hasn't changed by one penny in weeks, in weeks. So I hope you guys are doing well. Maria Graham, I don't know if your mailbox is in your house. You should be getting some mail. And I would like to show you guys some mail that I picked up. This is just the mail that I got this week that's been sitting there probably for a couple of weeks. One, I'd like to thank Psalm 146, Robyn, Garden State So and So says, Merry Christmas, Auntie. Thank you so much for my beautiful homemade card. I treasure it. Love, Robyn. Then I have a card from Psalm 146 and her handsome son, Bean Juice, to Auntie Ellen, wishing you a very Merry Hana Kwanzaa. Thank you. I call it Christmas Hana Kwanzaa, too. I try to get everybody in. And I have a card from one of my cousins, my cousin Audrey in North Carolina. Chapel Hill, as a matter of fact. So I will give you guys a chance to come in. Oh, wait, I have other mail that I wanted to show you. And it's actually a package that I got from Crafty Leo. For those of you who don't know, Crafty Leo is an artist. She cooks. And she sent me a little note. Delayed, not denied. I love you, Auntie Ellen. And it's the cutest little little card in here. But for those of you who create bags and totes and don't are willing or unable to create your own, I had her make these for me. I don't know if I have moderator in the chat who can drop her link, but I wanted some small bags because tags, because some of my bags, some of my things I make are small. And look at this. She did it with her laser on leather. And I can just sew this in the corner of the bag and it won't be ostentatious. And Dale Homestead, thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I haven't seen you for a while and I try to look for your channel. They don't show it to me. And I'm a subscriber. I'm a subscriber. I don't know what happens. No, Hershey, I'm not picking you up because you're not gonna make me start coughing. So, oh, and Dale is saying hello to everyone. For those of you who are content creators, I'm going to show you how to drop your link, put exclamation mark GQUAT so that everyone can find you. Dale Homestead is located in the North Carolina, Virginia 7B area, and she homesteads as is shown in her name. She and her husband. Excuse me 1 minute. Someone's barking. I forgot to turn the mic back on. So of course the contractor's working upstairs above me just when I get ready to go live. But it's okay. Why? Because good friends become family and family is everything. I hope all of you are well and in good health. I have had some kind of I've had the worst case of bronchitis that I've had in years and years and years. I've seen my ear, nose, and throat doctor. I completed all the medication she gave me. And then it didn't seem like it was going away, this little congestion. So Tuesday, I went to urgent care and they gave me another medication that was really strong. And I don't know, I haven't started taking it because I don't know. I don't want an upset stomach. The people who have had the bug or the virus or the flu that's going around are having upset stomach, the poopsies, the nausea. I don't have any of that. I don't have of fever. I don't have any of that stuff. And I'm just looking to get better. I finally just almost stop coughing. If I think about it, I don't want to accidentally cough. I just dropped my cough drop. Cheers. And I don't need it now, though. Unbiased LLC. Hello and welcome. For those of you who are new to the channel, this is a variety channel. And what GQUAT stands for is Garden, Quilt, and Art Traditions. I have been gardening for 8 generations. I bought my first house when I actually, by myself, my investment house, when I was 24 years old. And I've been cooking from scratch all my life. I'm not the one, I don't open cans or anything because I learned how to cook the old fashioned way and we cook from scratch every single night, every single night. I think that because my parents were young, maybe they couldn't afford a can of Campbell's for this or a can of this for that. So we just cooked everything from scratch. If you wanted mushrooms, you opened a pack of mushrooms from the garden or the store, you chopped them up. If you wanted fish, you cleaned them. We went out on Daddy's boat. We bought a beef on the, on the hoof. We'd buy like a half of a cow, sometimes a whole cow. Baloo's says she's driving, so she can't stay in the chat. Well, thank you for coming in. Unbiased is, of course, working and listening. I know that you called me yesterday, my dear, and I was trying to call you back, but I was not feeling the best and I was trying to get some rest. I do feel better. I don't feel great, but I'm just happy. There are so many people, especially elders, that are in the hospital, that are being unalive by these things that are going around. And I'm just happy to be able to make it. I've been kind of taking it easy. Last week I was so miserable I couldn't even crochet on my own bed. My mom is just crocheting her little hiney off. She's I had a variegated thread that I showed a couple of weeks ago. It had pink and green and yellow. Well, I dropped it off to her a couple of weeks ago and she's working on it. What we're making are ear warmers, little portable, not to cover your whole head, and we're crocheting them. I saw one of my doctors this week had one that was knitted, and I'm going to show her how to knit. And I said, "Well, mommy, crocheting is faster than knitting for me." She says, "That's because you don't do it my way." She does it the European way, and holds her needles, her knitting needles, like a crochet hook, and she only uses one, and she goes really, really fast. Maria's saying, "Hello, mother." Ego amote, mommy. I will come to see you on Sunday. I haven't been able to see my mom for 2 Sundays because she's in a nursing care facility for a while, a rehab, and I didn't want to give her any kind of a little bug. I've been Nobody knows, they don't think anything I have is contagious because I don't have a fever. I don't test positive for anything, but you can hear how awful I sound. But I just wanted to come on so that I can give you guys the incentive and courage to, even when you don't feel well, to go on or do a little bit of something. And even when you don't feel good, sometimes just doing some arts, a craft, or something with your hands takes your mind off of it and makes you feel better. I want to show you a couple. Well, before I show you a couple of things, I'm getting started on my New Year's planning. I don't do resolutions per se because a resolution is just a dream. It's just a wish. If you don't write it down, if you don't do something to set it in motion, it's never going to happen. I see my little sister just came in. Hi, Sissy, Joanne Stevens. Thank you for coming and welcome. Hope you and Roscoe are doing well today. And I want to thank each and every one of you for coming in. You probably came to see if I'm still kicking the can forward, and I am. I wanted to get some change out because I'm starting my cash planning. How many of you keep cash around the house? I never have cash. Sometimes I need to move something around, or I'm not saying that I'm penniless, broke, busted, and disgusted and can't be trusted. I'm not saying any of that. What I'm saying is that I just don't keep a lot of visible means around. And when you get a certain age, you know what? You need to look into some trust and estate planning. You should not have a lot of liquid assets. You should not have a lot of cash assets in your name. Sometimes something unexpected comes up, or I want to do something that I didn't plan in advance, and I'll ask my sister to Zelle me a few dollars, and she never asks for it back. But I do give it back. Why? Because I hate people who come to you and they're like, "Hey, Hey sis, hey cuz, not sis, because my brothers and sisters don't do that. But when I say sis, like sister friend, and and they ask for something and they never give it back. It's like, oh, she doesn't need it. That was only $5. That was $10. But that's not what it's about. It's about your word. If you say borrow, you give it back. If you say lend, you give it back. So this year I am going to, and she's speaking to people. I'm going to try to keep some cash. I will be going to Arizona to staycation with her and her husband Roscoe, who's been my brother for the almost 51 years that they've been married, the 53 years that they've been together. And sometimes I don't feel like going to the bank to withdraw money or something. So I've been putting cash in the past in a little book, like $5, $10 a week, 20. Last year when I went to Arizona, I didn't have time to go to the bank and withdraw some cash, and I needed all the tip money. I needed to tip the Uber driver going to the airport. I needed to tip the person pushing my wheelchair to the counter. I had to tip the person from the counter to the gate. I had to tip the when we got to the next when I changed flights, had to tip the next two wheelchair pushers, had to tip the Uber driver when I arrived in Phoenix, all the tips and everything. So I want to make sure that I'm going to have cash put aside in my little book. And last Saturday was the first weekend of the month. So I will be putting a few little dollars in here, no less than five per week or per live stream. And oh, going growing with Hudson. Hey Q. She says she's at work. Work is a good thing to have. You wanted to show me some love. You should be getting some love from me too. Sometime soon. Just a little something. Just a little something. And Hudson is doing so much with her garden. She's got a community garden as well as a garden where she lives. And her husband are doing amazing things. Her garden always looks so neat. It always looks so, and she has so many things she's growing. Me, I only grow what the squirrels will allow. Oh, I wanted to show you guys. I meant to bring it over, but a week ago today, I put some ginger. I broke it up and then I let it heal for a day. Then I put it in a little bit of a plastic bag with a little bit of water in it. And I don't know whether they call it chitting, but it's starting to sprout. It takes about 10 months to get some good ginger here in Connecticut. How do I know? Because I've grown amazing ginger. I made ginger bud, I made ginger wine, I made ginger ale, I made all kinds of ginger. I have fermented garlic in honey. I don't want to take it though because I want to wait until the antibiotics get out of my system. I don't want the natural herbs and natural things to fight against the stuff that the doctor gave me. But I will be taking it and making some more. I have so much tea that I've been stashing up. I have tea that I made that I dried from my herbs in the garden. I also dropped some seeds for some what did I oh Jamaican sorrel so that I can start that. I only How many of you are growing hydroponically or doing the WIG grow off this year? Put a one in the chat if you're growing indoors, especially if you're growing indoors for in a cold climate. Because I want to tell you something. Let's see. Mike's Chaotic Gardening and GT Junior Grows in Alaska are have an indoor grow off. They have it every year, and it usually starts December 1st and ends in April. Well, Auntie Ellen won the very first year. I was the queen of it. And I had never grown hydroponically before. I've grown indoors, of course, dropping seeds. I did a little bit of everything that year. And I ended up winning the grow off. But you know what happened? In winning the grow off, I burned myself out. I had so much stuff growing. And then when the three hydroponic tanks got too high, too overgrown, and I put them in soil pots and in soil in here, then the gnats came. Oh, the gnats. I had the yellow little sticky things all over the place. And Baloo's Clues said she's growing indoors. I just want to say this. Don't 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 bite off more than you can handle. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Don't do it just because somebody else is doing it. Do it because you need it, you want it, and you love doing it. Fifi, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I've been watching you and your chickens. You're not that far from me. It's warming up. We might even be able to see each other. I don't drive much. I could always get on the train, the bus, or something. But how would that wouldn't be any fun? I wouldn't be able to bring stuff and beg for stuff, or at least get a few of those eggs. And Fifi grows chickens, turkeys, all kinds of stuff. All kinds of stuff. And don't forget, you guys, those of you who are content creators, to put an exclamation mark GQUAT so that those who are unfamiliar with your channel can catch up with you and you can link up with each other. I wanted to show you guys. I was able to do a little bit of quilting last Saturday. I was finishing up this this art quilt. This art quilt. It has a lot. You can't really see it. It looks kind of plain. It really, really, really has a lot of work in it. And like this, I fussy cut some strips of fabric and put them across, so that it looks like the sky and the background like mountains and trees and everything. And at the time I actually started this, I lived in North Carolina, and the front of the 4 acres, I think we had an acre that was on the road front, and we had trees, pine trees that were 100 feet tall. It was all wooded property, and this kind of reminded me of the North Carolina mountains and the trees. So I finally finished it, but you can't see the black on black stitching, but on the back you can see some of all the work. Even though it's machine quilting, it's a lot, a lot, a lot. And then after the live stream, I trimmed it and squared it up. So now what does it need? All it needs is the binding. And I do little groups of things. I have three small quilts. Thank you, Joanne Stevens. She said that's beautiful. I and Maria Graham likes the colors. And how you do this, and you can what's easy to do, like if you want to make a stencil or something, go to a Wally World or a dollar store and get a children's coloring book. And they have very, very simple, um, whatever pictures of anything. And you can just widen it, make it a quarter of an inch, whatever you want, and make it a little bit wider, and then cut it out. And what I did was iron some. Okay, so what I did was get the picture that I wanted, and I traced it on some freezer paper. Then I took the freezer paper. No, I didn't. I put it double-sided heat and bond, and I put it on the back of this black cone of fabric, and I traced I traced the pattern on there. Then I cut out all this part in between, like with the negative space. I cut that out. Then I pulled the double-sided heat and bond off the back of it, and I had sewn these strips together to be as the same size as the fabric, and I pressed it down. Then I took some black thread, and I rough edge appliqued all around here. You can even see, like, I tried to make like the clouds look 3D. When you look close, you can see some of the stitches, but that's how you make this work. Now, I wanted a a binding that kind of wasn't like all muted colors like this. So I made actually three bindings because I have three small quilts. I know you can't see my face. This is like three width of fabric by 2.5 inches binding, and I sewed them together on a 45-degree angle and cut them. So now all I have to do is fold them, and I thought that this would highlight, it'll only be like 1/4 of an inch showing. I thought this would highlight the landscape quilt. Then I said, well, when I put black thread, I usually sew with a titanium gray or a neutral colored thread. And when I put black thread in the top, which is very hard to see, when when you sew with black thread on black fabric, you're just guessing where you're sewing. You don't know unless you have like some white markings or something. So I made this binding for this quilt. I made a binding for another art quilt that's over here. Then I made this bright blue binding to go with this denim quilt that is almost finished. That is almost finished. I don't want to take it up because it's already ironed, and I don't want it to get all wrinkled. Quilting requires a lot of ironing. I hate to iron. Oh my gosh. The only one who hates to iron worse than me, I think, is that unbiased LLC, according to her. According to her. I don't like to iron. I don't like to iron my clothes. Auntie Joanne does. She irons everything. Her mother raised her well. They dropped the ball with one person. With one person. And that's just me. So now that I have this black thread and I have my walking foot on the machine that's out and open, I'm doing all the things that I will be using some black thread for. So I have three quilts that two quilts that have a lot of black thread. This denim one I will switch over to blue, and I have a lot of blue bobbins already wound. And hello, L Triple G Love. Thank you for coming and welcome. I wanted to tell you that plant that you gave me, the first two leaves, the big leaves, they had they went into shock when I brought my elephant ear inside, and it's in my hallway outside my door of my apartment. I live in a senior handicapped apartment, and the old leaves were doing something, so I cut them off, and I have three brand new leaves on there, and it's so pretty. Unbiased. Don't make me choke, you guys. You're gonna make my bronchitis come up. She came up to represent herself. I know we're always trying to find a way to not iron, but I do iron. I iron for quilting, but that's it. That's it. Now, have any of you gotten any mail from me? L Triple G, I sent your daughter's package out. I sent a bunch of stuff out. A bunch of stuff out. And I've been doing some crochet. And my son's birthday is February 22nd. They don't believe in exchange. My son and grandson don't believe in the commercialism of gift giving. They like when I give them things, or if I make them things, or I will give them special things. And my son will say, Mom, I don't need anything. Don't spend your money. I don't want anything. And then I'll give him a special gift that I have pre-thunk out. And he'll say, Oh, that's the one thing I would accept. Well, he and my grandson and my daughter went to see Auntie Joanne and Uncle Roscoe for New Year's, for the New Year celebration and for Uncle Roscoe's birthday. Well, a couple of years ago, when Lead Farmer was telling everybody to get a little solar charger, I've got a little Go Power Plus, and I've never used it. Auntie Joanne has one. I gave one to my son, and he was like, "Oh, well, I don't know, Mom. Well, thank you." But he likes to go camping and hiking and whatnot. Well, he went to Auntie Joanne's house, and it's like a 6 hour drive from LA up to the Phoenix area. And my sister said they were charging up, he and my grandson, their cell phones, all their devices, and unbiased. I thought about it today, and I said, you know what? Those of you who have been following me, sometimes if I go live for a very long time, where I'm sitting, I don't have any additional plugs to plug in. And I'll get a message that will say, Oh, your computer's about to die. And I don't know why, but this MacBook takes an amazing amount of energy. It is so annoying. What I will start doing is charging up my Go Power Plus and having it out here and plug it into some of my other devices, my hydroponics, my other things. Another thing I gifted to my son and my sister are a solar powered flashlight, and it has an emergency radio on it. I think that those are like gifts they keep on giving, and it's not something that's going to, well, I guess it would wear out, but it's something that's useful. It's a little thing that you don't think of buying for yourself until you're doing your go bag or your emergency getaway bag. You know, you guys, this country, I hate to say it, but I don't know the way things are going. We might end up in, I hope not, in WW3. Oh, restream because of the streaming software. That's good to know. That's good to know, unbiased. And I will just bring some of the portable stuff out, and I will be bringing more machines out. I still didn't get my cutie breeze up. I had planned on doing it for the first of the year, but I was so sick I wasn't able to do anything. I was coughing my lungs out, and it was just so miserable and so uncomfortable. I I just decided. One night I coughed so hard, and I had the worst asthma attack in like 40 years. I thought that I was not going to make it, but I said, you know what? And I have that home alert. I have it around my neck. And I said, I'm not pushing that button. I said, if I die tonight, I want to die at home. Do not want to be in the hospital. I want to be home with my stuff and Mr. Hershey. But I was really, really, and wheezing. I couldn't catch my breath. And when I tried to take a breath, it's like I kept choking. But I got over it and kicking the can forward. I'm kicking the can forward. How many of you are planting? I know what I'm going to do. I'm going to drop the link. Okay. Wait just a minute. Command V. And I'm going to drop the link. Nancy, our treasured home, is a new sewist and quilter. She has been going through, she's gotten all of this. The very first time she made something, she went live on this show and she made a neck bone pillow. Actually, she made three of them and she showed them and she was so proud of them. She's going forward and let me see if I can. Is that how I pin it? If any of you would like to come up, Baloo's Clue says her glands have been swollen for a few weeks. They're just starting to go down soon. Wow. Well, that's the interesting thing. All that stuff I had, my glands weren't swollen, especially these back here. They get like mumps when you're really sick. I don't know what it is. I hope you feel better. I hope you feel better. I wish I could make you some tea. So there is the link if anybody wants to come up. I will be crocheting, and on Saturday, this is going to be a short live because I am still congested and having difficulty breathing, and I'm just going to take it easy. But I wanted to see you guys, see what you were doing, see how you feel. Is anybody in any distress, or does anybody need prayer? We all need prayers, especially like I said, with the things that the country is going through. I don't know if are all of you aware of what's going on in Venezuela? Well, what happened in Venezuela is that our country has arrested the president of that country and his wife under siege and brought them to our country to stand trial for drug running, allegedly. Allegedly. And they're talking about going and taking over other countries. Hey, Tasharia, how are you doing? Thank you for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so proud of you and all of your working out. I have not even been able to work out in the morning, so I've just been watching in the bushes and without my glasses on, not typing. Okay, Baloo's Clue says she's drinking coriander, ginger, cinnamon, cloves, and green tea. I've been drinking all of those things. I even have the crystallized ginger. I have the all of the tea, all of the teas. I've got some tea sitting over here. Tasharia, drop your link for those who want to exercise or get on an exercise program who are not on an exercise program. I have to tell you something. You had me smiling when you were doing the squats with, I think it was, so I was watching you. You were doing it with the bags of soil, which were lighter than I guess whoever you were following. Well, I moved back to Connecticut from North Carolina. I lived on a homestead there, and all my animal feed every first of the month, I go get like 1,000 pounds of feed, like 500 pounds of dog food, chicken food, goat feed, all this stuff. And I had hey, Miss Shirley OG Gardner, thanks for coming and welcome, welcome, welcome. Of course, I had my handy dandy Ford F-150 pickup truck with the big, nice tires on it, nice wheels. I had an Alpine music box in it that you could take out. I could drive from North Carolina to Connecticut And I think I had over 800 songs on there and never hear the same song once. Oh, I love that truck. I have had I have sunk that truck in the mud on other people's farms going to pick up stuff. How do you sink a truck in the mud? I've sunk more than one truck in the mud. I what else did I sink? Oh, I had a truck that I sunk in a snowdrift here in Connecticut, and I couldn't get it out, even with four-wheel drive. You've never been to Venezuela, Baluz Kulu said, but her daughter's best friend came from there and became a citizen years ago. She's always been worried for her parents to go back home under a dictatorship. Yeah, now our president's talking about going into Cuba, going into Greenland, going into places where he has no business taking his behind. But I just want to say this, the reason I bring it up is you need to make sure you have some backup electrical backup for at least your special devices, your phones, your iPads, your tablets, your computers, because you don't know what is going on around these United States of America. It's, I won't say scary because there's no need to live and be scared. What you need to do is prepare, have extra food on hand. I bought all this stuff, you guys. Speaking of food, I was going to make some my granddaughter's quiche recipe. My granddaughter made the best quiche for New Year's, for New Year's Eve celebration, or maybe it was New Year Day, and she made a spinach quiche from scratch, and she made a ham and onion quiche. Of course, all quiche has lots and lots of cheeses. We had all these cheeses left over from the huge pans of mac and cheese. For those of you who have never seen how my family cooks, oh my goodness. And they're never like more than 10, 15 people. There are probably 10, 15 different dishes. One person usually does the cooking. That's my daughter, my granddaughter, with a few sous chefs. They allowed me to bring two butter pound cakes for Christmas. And we just love to cook. And we love, that's like our gift to each other. And we love cooking with fresh ingredients from scratch. And that they always tell me not to cook because my stove and kitchen is on the other side of this room. Well, when my legs and my hips are hurting, Miss Shirley, I go back there and sit on my bed and elevate my legs because I've had a hip replacement and two knee replacements in the last 5 years. Well, Hunty, I have severe sleep apnea. I wake up 3 o'clock every morning, no matter what. And then, like 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, I'm like some type of person you see on the street nodding off, going whatever. As soon as I sit down, I fall asleep. I don't plan on going to sleep. Asleep sitting up, but I don't sleep lying down in the bed because of my sleep apnea. Auntie, you're a great cook. I am a good cook. Auntie Joanne is too. Everybody cooks. Everybody. Oh my goodness. Baloo's Clues must be my little sister. She says she sunk her Pathfinder a few times. That is hilarious. But I'll tell you what, my baby brother, has all of y'all beat. Have you ever seen anybody sink a bulldozer with cleats in the mud? Oh my goodness. Daddy has a bulldozer and he let me borrow it back in the 1980s when we first got that homestead and it was off grid. We did all the stuff. We put a well in. We put we put septic tanks in. We cleared the land, which is why we borrowed Daddy's bulldozer for little stuff. We had the big, giant bulldozers like the state has for, doing big spaces. But my brother was back there one day. He did something, and sunk Daddy's bulldozer. We have a little stream in the back of the property, and Joe was out there doing something and sunk Daddy's bulldozer. I had to call a wrecker with a winch, and they had to put this big iron chain around some of the 200-year-old oak trees on the property and use that to dig Daddy's bulldozer out. And Dad said, "Well, give me my bulldozer back. You kids, you don't appreciate, you're not taking care of my stuff. You said you bring it back home." So he sent a driver, and you can't carry a bulldozer on like the back of like one of the rental things. That thing weighs 6,000 pounds. It has to be secured, and you have to have heavy duty equipment. When they got that bulldozer back, Daddy said they had shovels. They had to get the mud out of all the cleats and stuff to clean it out. Daddy was too through with me. Baloo says, not a bulldozer, but she's seen buckets get stuck and flip in the mud. Wow. 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 Miss Shirley said she does the same thing. I know what she means. When she said she does the same things, she meant dropsy. It's like that thing where you sit down and fall asleep, like Harriet Tubman had. You sit down and fall asleep. That must be what she's talking about. Miss Shirley, are you going live tonight? Drop your link so that people can find you and come spend some time with you. I'll be spending time with you, but it'll be in the and it'll be in I'll be watching you on TV, and I I I can't wear my glasses except for so long, so I take them off. I sit on my bed, and the TV in my bedroom is like 55 inches, real comfortable in that size bedroom. It's not like overly big, but I sit down and I watch you guys. I watch you between naps. Last night, Hands in the Dirt or Life with Hands, them and Nikki and them, they acted a fool last night. Don't make me laugh. You guys will make me cough. They are so funny. I wake up at night and I watch you guys. Oh, yes, you mean the bucket with the claw? Yes. My dad has one of those that you can put on with for digging up. It's for digging like holes, and like if you're putting down sewers and pipes and all that stuff, and you have to dig down below the frost line. Even like in places in North Carolina, we had to do all that stuff, all of that stuff. Donzel Cooper, hello and welcome, welcome, welcome. Appreciate you. Miss Shirley said she's going live at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. So you guys go over and pay her a visit. And I have one last thing I want to show you. Actually, no, it's a couple little things before I go off. And this one is, oh, let me pull this down. This one is almost finished. You can see a lot of stitching in the back. I'm stitching in the ditch, but you can see like all these lines. So it's a lot of more stitching than you can see. But this is the one I'm going to put that leopard binding on. And just why am I showing you this? Because even with 15 minutes at a time, I'm challenging each of you to spend 15 minutes a day. It's your lunch break, your lunch hour, something to create. L Triple G Love, I've been seeing her crocheting and doing things. When she came to visit, we did a little Connecticut meetup with her, myself, and Yankee Sister. The whole time, her daughter was sitting there hand embroidering and appliquing. What I did today for a few minutes this morning, I came in here. I love the morning light when it comes in this window. over here. And that's when I sew black on black and all of that stuff. I started making a couple of binder covers. So this one is finished. I actually sewed the page holder on here. The pen holder is there, so it's ready. I just have to tape it down. So that one's ready. I'm not sure if I'm going to give it to my grandson. They're almost the colors of USC, the University of Southern California, his graduation school. Here's another one almost ready while I have the black thread. So I'm just suggesting that as a way when I have black thread in, I try to have several things that need black thread. I like this binder cover. It's mud cloth, but I like this side because it kind of looks like a cross. I really like this side. I'll probably put initials on here for whoever gets this one. I try to make the gifts for my family or something that's edible or handmade. Are any of you making anything by hand or painting? 755 Media has been painting every day for about the last month. Lately she's been painting with a palette knife. I should get some of well, I'm decluttering. I had a lot of boxes out for Christmas. I mailed most of the boxes out that need to go out. There's only one box that needs to go out this week, but I was wheezing too hard to be able to lift it up. It weighs about 25, 30 pounds. And that's your box, Sissy Joanne Stevens. You and Uncle Roscoe with his Christmas gift, birthday gift with all y'all stuff in it. But it warmed up a little bit, so I don't think my lungs will be too cold, and I will get it in the mail tomorrow. I've used my very last bottle of water, which is this one, so I have to get 2 or 3 cases tomorrow. You know what, you guys? The last helper that I had left because she had some health issues. Uh oh, no, 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 no. Uh oh, I just hit something. I'm trying to show Maria's message. Oh, Blue's Clues said navy bean soup. You know what? I have a video on navy bean soup. That's my most watched video since I've been on YouTube. And it's about 7, 8, maybe 10,000 views. Oh, you're working on a quilt and you're going to show it on Saturday Live? Okay, we'll see. We'll need to test ahead of time so that we can get it debugged and make sure that there's no echo and we can get you up. So we can test it ahead of time. So sign on earlier. A 755 Media girl, you must have been up in the bushes and heard me calling your name, talking about your palette knife painting. And I have so many of those little small palettes, like you're doing the little 8 by 8 inch ones. But I don't want to get paint on all these little quilts that I have out and all the pieces for this little machine that I need to try to put together. What you need to do is cut some fabric. Yes. And we can do a project together, you guys. We can make something easy like a table runner. You can cut some 5-inch squares. I challenge whoever wants to make a table runner to get some 5-inch squares, and then we can, or you can buy them pre cut. You can buy charm squares and a table runner will come in handy for like if you celebrate Easter or just to have on the table. I have a little table runner on my little table and three custom made double-sided placemats, table mats. Oh, you get the first you've got was 2K. Well, that one has been up for a while. And you know what I hated about it? I'm sitting up there tasting it. I'm like, stomach all pooched out. I'm like, oh, that I wanted to take it down, but it had so many views. I didn't want people looking at me with my stomach all sticking out after Thanksgiving and Christmas. So that's funny. You guys post your links, and don't forget Miss Shirley is going live. Is there anything that you guys would like to say before I go off? I I have the link posted if anybody wanted to come up tonight. I hope that Nancy will come and do some sewing. She's been collecting fabrics. Even if you're not ready to sew yet, just collect your fabrics, get them washed and ironed because you can't cut them. You can't cut them without some type of ironing or having them flat. They won't cut straight. So that's why, or you'll find them when you open it up, you'll have little kinks in it, little dents in it, little weird things. And you'll say, why did this happen? Because you didn't iron it and fold it. That's why. That's why. Okay. What happened to the chat? Oh, I have to go out of there. Every time you go live, there's something else they've changed in the background or something. Well, I will get ready to close down. Don't forget to give the thumbs up. If you are looking for a home, those of you who are visiting, this is the place you want to go. We do gardening, cooking from scratch, quilting, painting, all kinds of arts. I need to repaint my stones for my garden, my for my that I put in my the rocks I put in my garden. I've seen some of you do that, and it's just a fun thing. You don't have to know how to paint in order to paint a rock. Anybody can paint a rock. Psalm 146. I didn't see you in there. Wait. You grow row. I didn't see you either. I didn't see you either. I was looking for my tomato seeds, those dwarf tomato seeds you sent me. I couldn't find them. So I dumped a bunch of other seeds, but I still have plenty of time to grow. Plenty of time to grow. And everyone is saying hello. And you guys, I'm going to do the outro. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Those of you who are not subscribed, 60% of you are not. It doesn't cost anything. You just push the thumbs up, turn the bell on, and then you will get when I go live and post new content. I will be cooking more, you guys. I will be cooking more this winter. All right, ego amo te. In Latin, that means I love you. My mother used to say that to us when we were little. This is an I in American Sign Language. You point your hand towards the person you're talking to. This is an L. This is a U. This is how you say I love you in American Sign Language. Bean pie, I love you. You guys take care.